What's going on, guys? This is your boy Adoptionism here. I'm bringing you guys a video kind of talking about Gambit. A lot of you guys experienced this last 24-hour trial that we had of the new game type that's to be released in the Forsaken this upcoming, Tuesday? Now, I have a couple little thoughts and ideas about it that I think should change, or maybe good beneficial parts that they should keep. But one of my biggest takeaways from it is that some people noticed the spawn system. Now, generally speaking, like, the spawn system isn't bad at all. Okay, you get your couple second delay or whatever, your teammates can pick you up, so on and so forth. But my only thing is, and this is where I think it's a little unfair to, obviously, the people that end up visiting. You get the invaders to come over, and then they could, like, kill you and your teammates or whatever, and then totally screw the whole mojo up. The biggest thing why that the spawn system ruins that is because the spawn area that you originally start off in the match you're like in this little canal type of thing, and the only way for you to like actually go out and do the objective is to get out of this canal and go, obviously, opens up to the map. Oh man, I can't talk. So the thing that when it comes to the invaders that really conflicts with that is that there's a box that, like an invisible area that if an enemy player walks into, it should switch spawn points. There is, but your enemy or your invader literally has to almost be standing right on top of your initial spawn point. They can sit right outside the canal and spawn trap you and your teammates, for the whole 30 seconds. Now, granted, that's a little tough to do, but if you have some teammates, like if you happen to random queue and you have some teammates that aren't even paying attention and they're just worried about doing the objective, that's cool and everything because they're doing the objective, but they're preventing further help with the objective by allowing the enemy team to spawn trap you, or the enemy invader to spawn trap you. So I think if they increase that box size, because one thing that I noticed, because it only happened to me twice, I don't know if you guys will see it here in this video clip here from my stream the other night, or last night I should say, that when we had an enemy invader that actually went into the canal and almost completely like right to where we were spawning at, and then I happened to spawn all the way on the ruins side in like this mechanical metal cave type of thing where I'm guessing some enemies spawned from. Now, again, that's something that, okay, that's a good idea to completely, like 360 or 180 onto the other side of the map. But again, they need to increase that field for whenever an invader gets too close to your spawn, because then it just makes spawn trapping too easy, and it's going to make the PvP aspect of Gambit way too easy to control, especially for people who are like super pub stars that do that type of stuff all the time. Now, other than that, honestly, I think this game mode is stupid crazy fun. It's awesome because I'm a huge PvE guy, and I have a mild toleration for PvP, but it's good to have that implement of both. And the only thing is that you just have to worry about one enemy person coming over, and it's only 30 seconds. So there are ways that you can work around that. The only thing is that some people may notice or may not have noticed is that when you're an invader, or when an enemy is an invader, they can actually see you no matter where you're at on the map. They can see your little tag through the map and everything, but they can also see the count of motes that you have. Now, the PvP aspect is like, oh, cool, yeah, let me just kill as many enemy players as I can. But the strategic PvP way to play it is to go after the player that's holding on to the most motes. Because if you do that, you get rid of the person who's carrying the most motes. Obviously, that's going to put a huge detriment on the enemy team and their progression to summon the primeval in terms to, win the race or whatever, to win the match. So that's a really cool thing. Now, the fact that you could see them through the entire map, I mean, it is a big map, so I could kind of see where, it's good, because then it gives that one visitor a fighting chance against, 4 other players. So I kind of like it. Now, also, I think, I don't want to sound like a negative Nancy here, because I know it's difficult to do, but the sleeper simulant with the active catalyst is just, it's a monster in this, because you could stay at range, and no matter what, you will always, I mean, you could do it without the catalyst, but having the catalyst gives you, gives an invader a huge advantage, and then the people that they're invading a huge disadvantage, because you only need like a second and a half to react to get that shot off. And it's, I mean, it's insane. I was getting melted by it. There was this one team we went up against, I think it was this one, where it was 3 hunters and 1 titan, and the Titan and one Hunter kept coming over with the sleeper simulant, and one of them definitely had the catalyst because he was firing it way too quickly, and it just kept it just. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I raged a little bit. I don't know if you guys will see here. I started getting a little angry, but again, in the fun of it having that, because when you're doing the PvE part, all right, cool, it's fun, it's easy, it's simple, it's straightforward. And then when the PvP part gets on, that's when like, oh man, that's when the palms get sweaty, the stress kicks on, the anxiety kicks on, and it becomes like, holy crap, now I have to play a little smarter. Another thing that I like that I kind of noticed too is that you get, obviously there's waves of enemies that spawn in different points of the map. You got enemies that spawn on the trees, ruins, and beach or shore or whatever it's called. Yep. Oh, look, you guys actually just saw me spawn in that little cave spot right at the end. But the enemies, the first spawn that you go to, it's like, all right, cool, you could run in there gung-ho, kill them, no big deal. But then the next wave spawns up, and you're like, oh, okay, these guys are a little harder. So each time that the spawn points change of the enemies, they do get stronger, they get more aggressive, and there's a higher quantity. So I think that's really cool because it's definitely, it would be way too easy to fly through it if it was just as easy as the first wave. One of the other things that I really took away from it, one of my friends actually, he's a big PvP guy, that the Risk Runner does an insanely phenomenal job in this game type, because even if you're going up against the Cabal or the Fallen, those were the only two types that we went up against. I don't think we went up against the Hive at all, but it's really cool because you get hit by almost anything that you get hit by is going to be arc, like almost no matter what. The only time that it ever changes to like solar is usually when you're in the middle fighting the blockers or the primeval. So the Risk Runner does phenomenal work in there. You almost never have to reload as long as you're in a group of enemies getting shot at. So I think that's really cool. I think there's a lot of viability in terms of what builds go to it. I think anybody who could tank a whole lot of damage, like somebody like a Titan using the Rally Barricade. See, I did it again. Or the Warlock using a Healing Rift, you could stand there and pretty much just face tank everything while infinitely reloading and killing huge groups of enemies. Now the score goes up to 75, and then you're able, obviously, and then the Primeval comes in, and then it's whoever kills the Primeval first wins. So I think that score 75, it's pretty tolerable. I think it's a decent score. Now the only thing that I really didn't notice, I just kind of being caught up in the moment, was if or when your portal to invade the enemy team pops up. That's one thing that I was a little unclear about. I may have just not been paying attention, or it could be, start at a completely random point. Also, another thing is too that the bar, there's a white bar at the top next to the scores, and when that bar, like the bigger the bar, obviously that's like the bigger the blocker they could put in. But a huge strategy that me and my friends did was that the very first wave that we did, you have one person pick up all the motes, because that'll equate to a large blocker. So there was some teams catch on to that, and then they kind of do the same thing. But we were doing like, we do somebody focusing on medium or large blockers, and then we have one, maybe two people focusing on just doing small blockers. Now, obviously, there being 4 terminals you could go up to, you could actually get one of, like, each person could turn one in and put a blocker up. It's not like you're limited to 1 small, 1 medium, 1 large. You could do 2 of each, 3 of each, 4 of each, or, sorry, not 4 of each, sorry. Like, you could do 4 smalls, 4 mediums, 4 larges, or you could do something that's more like, 2 mediums and 2 smalls. So it's really good to communicate with people, because if you have some of your teammates that are just completely slaying ads and not getting greedy with the motes, but you have like somebody who's assigned to pick up the motes, it makes the game mode phenomenally more effective in what you're trying to do. Anyway, guys, there's probably a couple other points that I didn't hit on yet, and it's just because, there's a lot that, obviously, this being like a 24-hour trial, it's probably to see what kind of YouTube content or forum posts that people put up on, the game mode and the issues, and maybe like certain weapons and stuff, or even maybe the spawn trapping like I told you about. But anyway, I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. I definitely hope you guys enjoyed the game type, and I can't wait to see you guys in Forsaken. So until next time, this has been your boy Adopt. I love you. Thanks for watching. Peace out.